About a month ago, Anna was looking on the internet at, I don't know, BuzzFeed type stuff I guess, and saw clear coffee and said, Kev, they do clear coffee now. You should buy some and try it on the channel. We did. We got 2 bottles, it was like £6 from some weird website, and then I forgot all about it. And yesterday it arrived. It says on the back it's best served chilled, so it's been in the fridge overnight, and now it's all coldy and nice. But it is clear coffee, contains caffeine. It's so hipstery that it has a hand-drawn date on it. Its country of origin is Slovakia, and it has caffeine content of 50 milligrams per 100 millilitres. That sounds quite high. Not suitable for children, pregnant women, or persons sensitive to caffeine. Really worryingly, it has only 6% Arabica coffee in it. Its ingredients are water, coffee Arabica, 6%, and natural caffeine. So I haven't read anything about it. I would suggest what they've done is taken a cup of coffee, filtered it a gazillion times so there's hardly any left, and then just filled it back up with water and added some caffeine to make it still make you go woo. So I don't know what it's going to be like. Apparently the joy of it is the fact that you can drink it to your heart's content and it not stain your teeth, which that ship has long since sailed for me. But I'm intrigued. It could give the impression that I'm drinking a healthy water whilst actually guzzling the coffee I love the very most. Now, I am a coffee aficionado. I love a good cup of coffee. If this isn't good coffee, I won't be very happy. I do like iced coffees. I tell you what, that smells like coffee. That's ridiculous. That actually smells like coffee. It doesn't taste like coffee. Actually no, it kind of does. It tastes like water with a coffee aftertaste. It tastes a little bit like, you know when you're a little kid and you sneak into your parents' drinks cabinet and have a little sip of vodka or gin or something, and it's like, ah, that's horrible, and then it tastes weird in your mouth afterwards. That's the impression I'm getting with this. 2 calories apparently. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it. It's really not very nice at all. That's a real shame. What it needs is to be hot, have some milk and colour, and be made properly. It just tastes chemically. It even comes in what looks like a medicine bottle. Don't spend £6 on clear coffee on the internet. It wasn't a nice experience. Oh, it's so hot today. It must be 30 degrees. I haven't even checked. It's gone 6. The sun is still burning down on me. I've barely been outside as well. We're very much at crunch time when it comes to the exam marking, the coursework moderation stuff. That seems to be all I'm talking about at the moment. I've been out in the garage all day. Have you ever tried sitting in a garage when the heat's like this? I'm so tempted to just open the door and let all the air flood in. I open like the garage door at the front, but problem is I'm then just advertising to the world, hey world, look at all this expensive gear that's in here. So I haven't done that. I need to hurry up and get the proper security lock things that I'm going to put on there, but the main reason I haven't ordered them yet is because I just wouldn't have time to do them, to fit them at the moment. It's yet another job for the summer holidays. So at the moment I've got the super fun activity of every evening I pile everything up, bring it into the house, and then every morning, or when I get home from work, depending on what day it is, I pile it all up again, carry it all back out there, and it's a good 10-minute period where I'm setting everything up and packing everything away that sort of bookends the day, and it's such a pain in the backside. I can't wait to get to the point where it's properly secured. I can just leave stuff in there. I can't even remember if I've told you the plan for what I'm going to do with that. There's these bolt things that go into the bottom of the door and push a bolt out into the wall on either side, so there's no way to get it from outside of the garage, because obviously the big issue with those terrible locks you have on garage doors is it's easy to force them, it's easy to break the little cable thing that goes across the top of the garage,
and then you're in, basically. But my triple or quadruple security plan for the garage door is I'm going to put these bolts down at the bottom, because that stops you being able to move the garage at all, and there's no way to get into them without the key or without cutting through the garage door itself, which someone's going to spot someone cutting through a garage door. Part 2 of the plan is I'm going to disconnect the cable from the inside. We have no reason to access the garage from outside of it, so I'm just going to remove the cable, so even if they do manage to bust the lock and turn the handle, it's not going to do anything, the cable's not attached. I'm then going to get some bookcases, like the bookcase I have in my dining room that I've got all my pop vinyls and comics in. I'm going to get a couple of them, they're like 50 quid from IKEA. Get a couple of them, just line them up in front of it, so if they do manage to get through the lock and through the extra locks, then as soon as they try and push it, the mechanism is just going to bang into the top of these bookcases, and again, not allow it to open all the way. And then the fourth part of it is I'm just going to get one of those little CCTV cameras to go in there that sends notifications to your phone whenever there's any movement in there. And so if someone gets through the locks, gets through the backup locks, manages to somehow remove the bookcases and get in, I'm at least going to know about it and can immediately either rush out there if I'm at home, or contact the police or Anna, or both if I'm not at home. So that's the plan. Once that's set up, this end is fine, this end locks, we lock this every night anyway, but once that's all set up, the plan then will be to move the PC from the house out into the garage, move the docking station for the Mac into the house where the PC is now, so both me and Anna have MacBooks, and all. We realised today that the big fancy gaming PC that we got about 18 months ago that I've never been allowed to take into the garage, we realised, we went to turn it on so Anna could write her essay that she's got to do for entry to uni, and it wouldn't turn on, and we realised it was because it wasn't plugged in, and we'd actually unplugged it when we got the new telly, and we hadn't noticed. That's how long it's been since we've turned on the gaming PC. So reluctantly, I think she's agreed to let me take it outside, but not until we've got the security in place. So that's going to come outside and be set up with the Xbox One through an Elgato into that, and I'll play my Football Manager on there. I'll stream all my console gaming onto it. It'll be my editing machine as well, and it'll be what I use for live streaming. But I can't do that until the garage is secure because it's an expensive bit of kit. I'm then going to move the old TV that's in the garage up into our bedroom, along with the spare PS4 that's in the garage, because now I've got an Xbox One out there. We don't need the PS4 out there anymore. I'm never going to play on that. I've always been an Xbox man. So that's going to go upstairs in the house to give Anna somewhere to run away to when she needs a little bit of time apart from Andy during the day, because obviously when I give up work I'm going to be here, so it allows me to relieve her a little bit. But she likes to game, so she doesn't want to go out and sit in the garage, but if the TV and the PlayStation is up in our bedroom, then she can go up there for an hour and just get away from everything, and I think that would be a massive benefit to her. So with that TV leaving the room, I'm going to get a second monitor, whether it's another ultra-wide one. Again, if they're still on offer I might get another ultra-wide, because it is really cool. It really helps with what I've been doing on it the last couple of weeks. But because it takes two HDMI inputs and there's just a switch that flicks between the two of them, so at the moment I've got the Xbox and the laptop plugged into it, and I can just flick back and forth between the two. So what I want to do is have a double setup of that, but not have them both plugged into the PC. So have one monitor, so one just has the PC going into it and is permanently there for the PC, so that's always on and always usable. And then the other one will have a HDMI cable that will be able to come out to my Mac, and it will be plugged into the Xbox One via the Elgato. So I can still go out there, set my Mac up and edit the vlog out there on the Mac, but I can have the Xbox on one screen, PC on the other, so I can live stream console gaming. Because it's ultra wide, I can still have Football Manager on 2/3 of the screen and the Twitch chat on the other when I'm live streaming Football Manager, and I think it'll be a really, really cool setup and will do exactly what I want it to do. But it's finding the time to fit it all in. And realistically, as much as one of the things that I'm struggling with so much today trying to do this exam marking is I'm sat there thinking I could have all this set up if I just took 2 hours. I'd have this perfect in here. But it isn't as simple as that, because I need to do all the security stuff first, and I'm deliberately not ordering that, because if I order it I'll want to do it and then a whole day disappears, which is really easy to happen for me. Tomorrow is going to be batch cooking again. We've got Tesco coming first thing, so it's going to be another cooking day. You all seemed to enjoy it last time, so fingers crossed you'll enjoy it again this time around. It's stews this time, so slightly less labour intensive for me, so I can head back out to the garage and spend most of the day exam marking again, because the pressure's starting to build a little bit with that, and I am falling behind, which is a problem. And lastly, lots of you, and when I say lots, I mean we were probably getting into double figures of people who contacted me yesterday off the back of my ranty vlog about Andy and schools, suggesting homeschooling as an option. It is a completely reasonable suggestion, but I wanted, rather than having to reply to everyone individually when that comes in, I want to just address that now. Homeschooling, educationally, would be an option. I'm going to be here, I'm a teacher, he'll be here and needs to learn stuff, but that's not really why school is so important for him. We've kind of made peace with the fact that he's probably never going to do his GCSEs. I just don't see how it would be possible for him to do. He won't write his name without a massive performance and kicking off about it. He can spell, he can read, he can add up, he does lots of stuff on his iPad, but he wouldn't sit and answer exam questions because he wouldn't see the benefit in doing it. So he doesn't go to school to learn academic stuff. The reason it's so important to get him to school is for the social side of things. He's so reliant and dependent on Anna that it's really important for him to have a place where he is, where she's not there. He's there regularly, so it's not just the respite care like once every 6 weeks or so, but it's somewhere he's regularly at, and he can get used to doing things without her there. One of the excellent things about it being a special school that we've never really been able to see the benefit from, because he only spent about 3 months going there before he stopped attending, is they do things like take them out into the community, just have them out walking around town with, just interacting with people. They'll take them to the shop and they'll have to hand the money over themselves and collect the change themselves, and teaching them to cross the street, and all these things that they might seem like silly little things for a normal kid, but for him it's the stuff that's going to maybe allow him to have just a tiny little sliver of semi-independence when he's an adult, because at the moment, if things stay exactly as they are, he's just going to be living in a bedroom in our house for the rest of his life, which is not ideal for him, because what does he do when we die? I mean, imagine the shock to that. You've been dependent on someone for 50, 60 years and then suddenly they're not there anymore. It'd likely kill him. So there's that, but also it's not ideal for us either. We don't want to spend our entire lives not being able to, I don't know, go out and see a movie together. And it might seem really self-centered and horrible, but it's a consideration. At the moment we can't go to the cinema together because he's here, so it needs to get to the point where he can have some, and I say semi-independence. We're not just going to throw him away and get him a flat and never see him. We'll still be very much involved in his daily care, but we are, and we've been talked about this with the social worker and with the other professionals involved in it. The plan all along, the goal of this school, was to get him to, once he turns 18, 19, he should be ready to move into some kind of assisted living adult place where he has his own flat, his own space, but there's carers on hand, we're nearby, we can still go and help him with stuff, but otherwise he's just going to spend his entire life sitting on our sofa, clicking an iPad and playing on a PlayStation, which is just no life. Even if it's what he thinks he wants, as parents we have to hope for more than that. So that's why homeschooling, although an option, wouldn't be ideal. And to be fair, if it got to the point where it was either go to court or pull him out of school and homeschool him, we'd homeschool him temporarily, because we don't want the fine or the prison sentence that would come Anna's way if it really does get that far. But it's a long way from ideal. It would be temporary, and it would be with a view to getting him back into a different school as soon as possible. But it might not even come to all this, because we've finally had an applicant this morning for the personal assistant job that we've been advertising for months. So we've got to interview them, but if they turn out to be as good as they look on the application form, we might actually have someone to come here for an hour and a half every morning, get to know him. Realistically, that's all it'll be between now and July when school breaks up, but spend a year getting to know him, building trust. There'll also be a couple of hours a week outside of school where she can take him to churches, or take him to go up and ride up and down in a lift, or whatever he wants to do, watch trains, watch buses, all his favourite things. Just get to know him, build up a rapport, so fingers crossed when September comes round he's willing to get in a car with her and go to school, because he trusts her. And it's all about the way the mental health nurse specialist described it. We have to set up a system where at the moment he has a safe person, which is Anna, and we need to build a network of safe people around him so that he's comfortable with being passed off from safe person to safe person to safe person. Obviously I guess I come into that category as well. Well, he's really reluctant to be alone with just me. He doesn't really like it if Anna's not there. If she goes upstairs to have a shower or something, he wants to follow. He doesn't like to be in the room with just me. When Anna takes Dave out for a walk, he doesn't like it at all. So I guess I've got a little bit of work to do. But the residential place he goes to, we're starting to get to that point with that, because they took the effort of taking him out to the stump and taking him swimming and doing just some fun things with him. But we need to start building that network of safe people with school. Step one is to get a personal assistant who he'll then trust to travel to school with, and then step two is finding 2 or 3 people within the school who we can start to build up that bond with. Hopefully with some overlap with the personal assistant. They'll work like an hour and a half a day. If they come here for say 8:30, he's at school for 9, the idea would be they stay with him in school for a period of time to allow some crossover each morning, and even as a temporary thing, they perhaps take him in and then come home with him after half an hour, just to show him that it's not so bad and she's there the whole time. But it's all speculation until we know if this person is any good. We've invited them for interview, we're waiting for them to get back to us. Fingers crossed we'll have some progress on that side of things, and if we can show the school and educational welfare that there is finally some progress on that, it should just slam the brakes on the legal stuff that we were panicking about yesterday. So wish us luck. Oh, and thanks for the massive support on yesterday's video. It did not go unnoticed and it was very much appreciated.